Everyone thinks World War begins with a declaration, a podium, a flag, a president saying the words, no. The next World War may begin with an email from an insurer. Coverage cancelled. Look at the hidden document, the Five Powers exclusion. Most people have never heard of it, but marine insurers know it well. It says that if war breaks out between any of five powers, the United States, Britain, France, China, and Russia, certain marine insurance cover can be cancelled. Not paused, cancelled. Now look at today's world. Russia is fighting Ukraine. China is threatening Taiwan. America just fought Iran. Iran choked Hormuz. Ukraine is striking Russian oil infrastructure. Chinese drones, cyber attacks, Russian submarines near cables, proxy strikes, sabotage at sea. Everybody is touching the line. Nobody wants to admit they crossed it. That is the new danger. Not full war, almost war. The Financial Times reported today that insurers at Lloyd's of London are debating how to clarify this five powers exclusion because low-grade conflict between big powers is becoming normal. Think about that. The people writing insurance clauses understand what politicians hide. We are already living in the gray zone. But then, bring in Hormuz. Reuters said after the US-Iran framework, the strait was supposed to reopen. But the real question remained. Would ship owners risk their vessels and how much would insurance cost? Before the war, Reuters said the daily average was 138 transits. 138 everyday oil, LNG, containers, chemicals, spare parts, food. Now imagine one clause turns red. A ship owner calls London. London says, not covered. The captain waits. The cargo waits. The refinery waits. The supermarket waits. That is how war reaches ordinary people, not with tanks, with missing shipments. Now connect Taiwan. Reuters reported Taiwan is asking for a new US arms sale while China's coercion is intensifying. But Trump had called Taiwan arms sales a very good negotiating chip with China. A negotiating chip. 23 million people, the world's chip hub, a possible blockade target. And if Taiwan's strait risk becomes uninsurable, the first crisis may not be a landing craft. It may begin with a shipping contract. No cover, no cargo, no semiconductors, no confidence. Now bring in Russia and Ukraine. EU leaders just renewed Russia sanctions for 12 months, the first full-year renewal. Ukraine brought the war closer to Moscow with refinery strikes. Russia hits Ukrainian infrastructure. Ukraine hits Russian oil again and again. But every attack asks the same legal question. Is this war? Is this terrorism? Is this sabotage? Is this covered? Now bring in China and Iran. Trump thanked Xi and Putin for being neutral in the Iran war. But Reuters reported Beijing condemned US attacks on Tehran. Chinese refiners kept buying Iranian oil, and US intelligence assessed China supplied Iran with goods with potential military uses. So China is not neutral. China is positioned. It buys Iran's oil. It supports Russia economically. It pressures Taiwan militarily. It controls critical supply chains. And it watches Western insurance systems decide how much risk the world can still price. Here is the twist. Superpowers don't need to formally start World War III. They can create a world where trade behaves as if World War III might start tomorrow. Insurance rises, ships stop, oil jumps, semiconductors stall, sanctions widen, ports freeze, markets panic. And ordinary people are told this is not war, just risk. That is the lie. The new world war may not be declared. It may be underwritten. The truth is, the battlefield is no longer just Ukraine, Iran, or Taiwan. It is the contract layer under globalization. So, should the world fear missiles first, or the moment insurers decide the system is too dangerous to cover?